Jay from Team DMA at it again with another video. So it is kind of feels like it's late afternoon, but it's just the weather's changing. But I wanted to do a quick recap on the AC 130 for this year. And obviously for next year, I don't know if I'm going to keep the same profile or I'm going to try something else like adding fin rears and stuff like that. The deck doesn't lack anything. I mean, you see me beat these tier 0 and tier 1 decks since what, 2020? In fact, if you're on Discord, if you go under general and then you scroll down on the channels, go under Dark Magician versus top tier, you'll see from the year 2019, I think, 2019, 2020, all the way to this year, all the current and previous YCS first place champions are there on the Discord. They're my YouTube. My YouTube has a lot of videos, like 600, 700. So that's one of the reasons why I have so many videos, because other like famous YouTubers, they're like at 10K, but they only have like 200 videos because they can't show you the videos that I can show you on my channel, which is all the first place nationals. You name the deck, as long as it existed as a first place champion, for the most part, they're like 10 negates per turn. I had a duel where the guy had 12 negates and I still won that duel. And there's two versions of this profile, AC130. There's a going first profile, which is this one, and then a going second. I'll go over the going second really quickly, but I do want to end the video because it's just a quick recap. So basically, the two Dark Magicians, and before I go on with this, everybody builds their deck how they want to, but for people who are trying to build a budget deck, this is a good starting point because it's broken and I've tested it already. You've seen it on my channel go against all sorts of tier one styles. It's hard to beat tier 0 with this profile and the budget. But when you do this deck, like exactly the profile as you see it, this is the one that kills all the tier 0, tier 1s. There's no, I guarantee you 100%, no existing channel on YouTube with the Dark Magician that's been winning against first place nationals for 5 years in a row. This is the only channel. I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm not saying I'm the best. It's just the facts. Like, look at my videos. No other channel can, because they can't even handle 3 negates. There's some people who posted videos saying Julfer is wrong. I can go through 3 negates. And then later on, they admitted cheating, which is they rigged their hand. So that doesn't count. The way you do is you shuffle and you draw a random. That's how I do. So this is a good start. Like I said, we're gonna be cutting some cards down to make the deck 65, so a lot of people can build it. So let's go through it quickly. Two Dark Magicians. There's been a lot of people switching to 3, and a lot of the other majority switching to 1. The truth is, the people who switch to 1 usually don't play Dark Magician. They're playing more of a like a Branded or Shadow or other type of deck. And Dark Magician is just there for one thing only, either for the Soul Servant to draw, which at the point it doesn't even matter, just play anything else, and the other one's for the Dragoon. But people who play a solid Dark Magician deck tend to do 2. I do 2, I've never had an issue. It also gives you more versatility to add more stuff in the deck. The United Dragon, some people like 2, but 1 is enough. Like, take it from me, I'm beating tier 1, tier 0. You've seen me smoke all these ugly, nasty decks like the... in my opinion, this year's most powerful deck was the Runic Bestial Labyrinth. Was the worst deck I've dueled. The guy had like, it was like six interruptions per turn, and then the guy was able to keep up. And at some points in the duel, he was actually faster than I was. That deck had, I believe, it had like 8 singles, and I did watch some of his full matches. They went 4 in a row. No one stood a chance. He never lost even a single one. And I dueled the guy on a match, and as soon as I smoked him, he just disconnected. He just left. A lot of people do that because they're like, oh crap, they don't want to deal with it. A lot of people, they don't want to deal with like actual strategic and like actually making move and countering. Once they see me build like 8, 9, even 10 negates, they don't want to do it. They don't want to deal with me. They just leave. You can see it because when I do a regular duels, people stay duels a full match, or even on the singles, they tell me it's cool. But like when I go all out and I do like a multiple negates, no, hardly anybody wants to stay. They just leave. So the United Dragon is needed because you need to make a Dragoon. You can actually make 2 or 3 Dragoons in this deck easily. So I just play one because I have a bunch of other Boss Monsters Dragoon. Can either use them or not, I don't even care. And then the other one is the Drissworm. You've seen my ultimate combo with Banish, Special, Attack, and then I go ahead and I do a link, and then I'll go into Azalea, and then double pop. And then from there, if I can, I'll enter a Dragoon, pop again. Sometimes I do the whole battle phase, like I special, attack with everything, and then chain, bring Dragoon, and then attack with him, and then I'll pop, and it'll be like 3 pops and a bunch of attacks. So I've smoked Pearly like that. Any deck that you can think of that's broken, like that's Nationals level, like top 8, top 5, that combo is murderous against them. Because I have to deal with like 2, 3 attacks and then like triple pop. And then after that, Dragoon's just there. And then you already have 4 or 5 negates on the board. So it's really ugly. People just surrender afterwards. And so you're going to want to do that combo. If you don't have the money for the Azalea, you can always use something else like a Nightmare or just a Dragoon for the pop. And then the other one is Magnema. It's not really needed, but it's just there to search the United Dragon and the Drissworm. And then you can always get the Drissworm back. It feels like you have 2 of them. Apprentice, just because you have a situation, even when you go against a Dragoon and you need an out. Most of these cards are because I already thought about an out to everything. Because a lot of people, those are rigged. Like, take my word for it. They're rigged 100%. If you pay close attention, they never take 10 negates. You never see them go against first place national decks. They always resolve all their cards. They always make it to where the Dragoon wins. They're silly. There's famous YouTubers that go as far as showing you that the Circle Eternal wins the duels. That crap is freaking fake. You gotta have a skill drain and something to block the destruction of the back row. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Take it from me. People can out. What about the pendulum? The pendulum of Busca that I played against? It felt like a tier 0. None of your cards affect their field. None of your effects resolve. None of them. Theirs can. And then they do multiple negates on the board. Plus, they chain to link and synchro monsters with multiple omni negates. They can be destroyed by attack or card effect. Like, remember, I showed you guys that duel? This is the profile that I went against with it. So, it was a going second version. But I'm just telling you, like, be careful with the majority. I would say more than 95% of Dark Mission players are fake. Their duels are rigged. I show you all the ugly duels. I don't win any duel. There's no duel that ever existed that I won. It's just that I switch my interactions and make good decisions to win. But in a technical sense, I should lose all the duels because the ones I post are all tier 1, tier 0 styles. I never post like a weak deck. Why do I want to post that crap? I want you to see like some crazy stuff so that you figure out how to out stuff as well. I thought of everything. Kaijus, Dragoon, tier 0, tier 1, Banish, Drow, Ash, both in the same turn, Dimension Shifter, what is the other one? Dimension Barrier, anything you can think of, Fenrir, everything. I thought of everything, evenly matched, and none of it resolves with this deck. It's just really, really good. So you have to come up with a variation like that. Because I don't want to say, oh, it's a bad matchup. There is no such thing if you're a good duelist. You could always side deck also. After that, one Dark Magician Girl. I have a Dark Magician Girl. A lot of people take her out, but player, if you're going to play like a Naruto or you're going to play the Magician Souls, you can always go into the Dark Magician's Fusion. The way that works is if you have a village or the right hand or both, then it makes the Dark Magicians broken. They can't play any spells, only you can. And then when they play the first spell, it won't resolve. You can burn anything you can think of. Lightning Storm, you can burn Super Poly, it becomes broken. The Dark Magicians, the right hand plus the Dark Magicians is broken. All you have to do is negate the first spell. Because what they do is people usually draw two, they'll draw either 1 to 3 spells. If they draw the rest monsters or trap is what I've noticed on the average. So they use the first one to bait. So what I do is I omni negate it. That's why Loza said, man, Jay's dumb. Why did he negate it? And it's because he's dumb. He didn't realize I negated it because I knew the last card he has was Dark Ruler or sometimes Super Poly. So they burn the first one, and when they play the second one, automatically the right hand burns it. So there's no out. I burned the cards that are unburnable. No one can do that. I thought you guys had to do it like 4 or 5 years ago. So yeah, the Dark Magician Girl, if you're gonna play like an Naruto or you're gonna go into the Dark Magicians but make it broken, then yeah, it can work. It can work. You have to make it work. Every card has to do something. You can use it as discard material, and then the 3 rod. I know people hate the 3 rod, but hey, rod. If you can get the rod to resolve, and most of the time he doesn't, right? So it can. Rod works as a bait. That's what people don't realize. They're like, oh no, I don't want to play the rod. Well, I use rod as a bait. I trigger it and they negate it, but then it's all fake because in the back I'm gonna draw a bunch of cards, so I do whatever I want anyways. And then the prophecy. So we're gonna go pretty quickly. Prophecy is set up because you want to do rod, negate, magician souls, negate, double negate, and then you go, you link. Before you do that, you have to go into the Moon Maiden and then link off to Spellbook and draw, and then you draw anyways, right? And from those draw, you draw more. So you see all the cards that they played are in vain. They all got burned, and you still do everything you want to do. And you're already preparing for your bestial. I used to have 6 bestial, but I lowered it down because the deck is doing multitasking like crazy. You've seen me do it sick. The deck can easily establish 7 interruptions, 2 or 3 negates. You've seen it. It's not just me talking. I'm not just blabbering. And against tier 1, tier 0 decks, once you go against like the regular meta, like top tier meta, like they can do like 3 negates and stuff like that, but you can smoke them. They're nothing to you. You need at least 5 to 6 negates against you just to hold the chance against you. Going second doesn't even matter what they playing. The deck is broken. I'll go over the going second in a bit. Magician Souls, you need 3, but don't believe the liars that say, oh, if you don't have 3, you can't play Dark Magician. They don't know what they're talking about. Even they have the 3 and they still can't do anything. Go to their channel and see their duels. Duels are all rigged. They don't know how to play Dark Magician. If you have 1, as long as you utilize it well, you can play Witch's Apprentice. It lets you get it back to your hand. The other way you can do it, Master Reborn or Celine can let you use Magician Souls multiple times. Remember? You can put another Celine. Celines are $1 right now. Buy 3. Illusion and Chaos. I just played 2, but you really need 1 with 3 preparation. But because I don't want to play the prep, I just play 2. And then Dark Magic Attack. People who often lose, and right now there's a lot of decks that back row heavy. They always say, I wish I had a Dark Magic Attack. I wish they keep wishing and keep losing. And you want to win, include the darn thing. It works good as discard material with Eternal. I showed you guys that combo 5 years ago. And then sometimes you can play it. Dark Magic Attack. Sometimes they negate it with Solemn, Servant, get it again, do it a second time, man. I've done it. It's broken. It's such a good card. It can be used as discard for Magician Souls. It's so good. It can be used for Dragoon. So good. And then the secrets, you already know, for the Spellbook engine. 1 feather, why not? There's a lot of broken deck playing heavy back row. The feather comes in clutch. There's a lot of decks that Dark Magician players struggle against. I don't, because I feather their back row. And if I don't, I just use it as a material to draw more or discard. You just have to know how to play the deck. That's why people struggle. They don't know how to play Dark Magician. They've had more than 10 years to practice it. They still can't handle it. The Dark Magician community still doesn't know what to do. Goblin, you know how that works. The 3 Soul Servant, you could do with 1, but to be honest with you, you're going to want to do the 3. Just Search You gives you the ability of Yugi and Yu-Gi-Oh! Or the Pharaoh Attempt, which is Heart of the Cards. That's what the card is. You draw what you want. Dark Ruler, it works. One of the most broken things I've done is chain to a bestial, then they chain to their bestial, then I chain call and remove the card that we're going to use. Broken. There's a lot of other stuff you could do for the hand traps and whatnot. Twin Twister, once you're going against your 1 tier 0, it comes in handy. It discards the brick, and then pops their back row. You've seen how I handle all these tier 1, tier 0. And you'll see me against that, what was it called? Rescue Ace. And there's so many decks like Labyrinth. I don't struggle with any of that because I know what to do and when to do it. And the cards that I'm discarding, I need it so I can make cards live. I'm telling you guys. Like, you see me, I had with that deck, I had 6 or 7 interruptions, including an Omni Negate. And he went through them all. I just barely managed to win. But those decks are like, they feel like tier 0 style. They can go through like 7 interruptions and a negation and still set up their board. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you don't know about top tier decks. They're broken. There's a reason why Dark Magician players don't show you those duels. They can't win. Super Poly, you already know how to utilize that. Secrets of Dark Magic, it comes in clutch, man. Sometimes I'm telling you. And then you might want to enter your double Dragoon or triple. This deck can do 3 Dragoons. It's just, I don't include them because I never needed them. You see me duel. Only results, no crying. Restage, broken. You know the combo? Magician Soul, Special Summon Dark Magician, Circle Banish, and then Chain Restage Special. And then they're going to use Ash. It doesn't matter. You weren't trying to draw. You're trying to search draw. So it'll search draw the right hand or the left hand. So their Ash will be burned. It says, it'll say don't draw, but when it goes to graveyard, it resolves anyways. You draw anyways. And then from there, you can link. Yeah. And then the right hand, One Circle, Salvation, they work. If you don't want to play them, don't play them. Play Fenrir instead. I've never needed Fenrir. And you see me go against all kinds of decks. Those people who play Fenrir, look at what decks they go up against. They don't win against tier 1, tier 0. What's it called? There can only be one broken card. And this deck can enter into, there can only be one combo, which is you're just link chaining and then banishing, link chaining with skill drain. Broken. Dragoon can't escape it, nothing can escape it. And then I keep back row protection for the pops. No one survived it, not yet. In the 5 years that I've made it, no one survived it. A skill drain, a lot of people don't survive skill drain. When you play skill drain, people like to pop it. I have a lot of protection. Usually I set up like 3-4 negate for the back row. So they're just playing Feather, Lightning Storm, all this crap, and nothing works. And a lot of times because I played 3-ups, when they burn it, I just activate another one and they just surrender. Eternal Soul, sometimes the Circle and the Eternal, they banish it and I don't even care. I just keep playing with the deck and I still win. If it gets banished, oh well, just keep going. You can switch on to your Selene. That's why it's there. Selene is Eternal Soul. Or if you have a Monster Reborn, right? Or even Magician Souls. Magician Souls is Eternal Soul as well. Not exactly, but you know what I mean. It brings from the field and it gets the job done. And then you have the Dark Bribe. The Dark Bribe is mainly put there for the pesky evenly matched. Because sometimes you don't have your Dragoon. When you're going against tier 1 or tier 0, sometimes you don't have your Dragoon. Sometimes you don't have your Naruto out there already. Sometimes you don't have your Dragon Knight or whatever you may have. Your Solemn Judgment, or you have anything. You don't have them. So you need something that is similar. Because I have the right hand and then Bribe. So I can cover the traps, I can cover the spells together with Village of the Spellcasters. I pull it out because I don't really like when people have spellcasters and they get out of it. All the people who are tier 1, tier 0 know the trick. If you didn't know, I'm just going to blabber it out to you. Just link 2 monsters, go into Dark the Enchanter. That's it, man. All the tier 1, tier 0 players know it. If people who are telling you, I win all my duels with Dragoon and Village, I'm telling you right now, they don't know how to play Dark Magician. Because all the people who play that combo, when they go against tier 1 and tier 0, like their nationals, regionals, they all lose. And I'm not saying anything bad about Machi, Yu-Gi-Oh, or YGO. In fact, I think he's the #1 Dark Magician player. But even he shows you, like, it has nothing to do with me. Go on his videos. When he goes against tier 1, tier 0 decks, on the regionals, nationals, or I think it's regionals, but it could be nationals too. they all out the village. They just go. I've been telling you guys for years. They just out it and they all lose. Machi, all everybody. And they won't tell you. They won't tell you that, right? They won't tell you. You're looking at the door. You're like, crap. That's why I don't like to play it. If you're gonna play it, you better have some backup. Like a Circle Eternal. They summon a spellcaster, banish that thing. Or they summon a spellcaster, have the right hand. And then have some Omni Negate like a Dragoon and a Naruto, or have all of them, all the 4 or 5 Omni Negates, like I have them on my board. I've had Village, the right hand, Naruto, Navador I'm going to upload, and Dragoon. There was like 4 or 5 Negates plus the Village. What are they going to do? And the guy hand trapped me. That didn't do nothing to me. So let's go over the extra deck, and we're going to end the video. Dragoon, Starving Venom. What's this one? I forget his name. Resonant Wings of Resonant Life, and Garura. Sorry, Naruto, and then the MVP of the deck. Believe it or not, you seen me break these tier 1, tier 0 decks with my nasty combo, the Scareclaw combo. So Scareclaw's up. Everything switched to defense. They can't do anything about it. The right hand is up. Sometimes the Village, Dragoon, and Naruto on the board. Any spell trap, I just Omni negate it. Any effects, Circle banish, and then nothing can attack. And then people are like, I can out that easily. Yeah, right. Tier 1, tier 0 can't handle them. How can you handle it? I chain to trigger the Grave of the Secret Ancient Organism. Everything's frozen. The only one attacking is Scareclaw. I just do it till they lose. That's how I beat that. It felt like a tier 0 Labyrinth, Runic, Bestial. And there's a lot of tier 1, tier 0 decks that I beat with the combo. It's all Scareclaw and Grave of the Secret Ancient Organism. And I have at least 3 Omni Negates to negate anything that would destroy my back row. They're just frozen. I'm just attacking through it. It's hilarious. And because they're frozen, every turn that goes by, I add more negations, more interruptions, till I max out around 12. No one can survive it. That tier 1, tier 0 style, that's how I smoked it. I had like 7 interruptions and 1 negation on the board. He's not gonna out it. He can't even attack. Celine, you already know her. Phoenix, just because. If you don't like the Phoenix, get it out. And then Celine, another MVP of the deck. It's so murderous. If you have 3 spells or more, you can special summon it even if you have less, but it has the effect of popping a card. If there's 2 cards or less, it'll pop itself at the end. But if you have 3 spell cards or more, you can banish one, and when you attack a monster, it'll destroy it by effect. It's broken. Yeah, because you link to a bunch of stuff, and then you link to her pop, anything, and you can. I invented the triple pop. It's ugly. It's so advanced. People can handle it. I'm telling you, no matter what the deck. And then from there, you can use it for other materials. There's a bunch of other stuff that you can do with it. It's so broken. What is it? The Crawly. You already know that. You know the Crawly, and then. Well, the dragon is just to go into the easier into a dragon at any time in the duel. If you don't like it, then pull it out. In Imduk, I had taken it out for almost like 6 months, but I put it back in because I've been introducing more Dragoon instead of Dragonite. I put 2 Dragoon, and personally, for me, like me specifically, it works better. I never even needed Dragonite. I mean, if you can use it, that's fine. But I started using 2 Dragoon. I forgot to update the list, and I put Imduk, and you just make it really easy. And then Moon Maiden, the real true combo. Now, like a lot of fake Dark Magicians tell you, use it for rod. That's not why you use it. You use it for rod and then material for your bestial, because sometimes your opponent doesn't have lights and dark, so you need them in your graveyard. And then Relinquish Anima. Ugly combo with Restage. Dump Magician Souls, dump Dark Magician, bring it back. Banish with Circle. I invented this combo. Then Restage. Restage, bring Magician Souls. Then the Salvation and the Restage, draw 2. Then search, draw the 3rd one. And then from there, Anima, Link. you absorb link, and then you do attack with them. You attack with them, and then after that you go into link. After that, you link again to like a Crawly to draw more cards, or you can link to an Azalea and pop. Ugly broken combo. You end up with way too many cards in your hand and more negations. And absorption, attack, pop. It's so disruptive. It's so ugly. It's like an atomic bomb on your opponent. You see me do it all the time. Ugly combo. So that's it for the deck. Hopefully you liked it. The going second is I removed two of the skill drain, and one of there can only be one. And then I removed the restage with the right hand. And then no, that's all. So you remove 2, 3, 4, 5. You remove like 5 cards, and then on there you add 2 dark ruler, and then you remove no, you remove. We already said what you remove. Let me count them again. 2, 4, 5, 5. So you put 2 lightning vortex, and then you put 2 dark ruler no more, or 3. And there's another card I remove as well. Let me take a look real quick. Oh. I think I remove salvation. I think I remove salvation. Yeah, I think I remove salvation, and it gives you 6. So you're putting 2, 2, 2. I put 2 Regeki, 2 lightning vortex, 2 dark ruler no more. For the most part, sometimes you could do 3 dark ruler, 2 Regeki, 2 what's it called, lightning vortex, and that's how I break all the boards. There's no board that has survived it. Even the boards that say negate your cards, they don't survive it. There has been none. So that's the AC 130 going second, and this is the AC 130 going first. Any questions or concerns, let me know. Try to finish your deck. Congratulations to Adele, GoldenEye, and all the people who are completing their Dark Magician decks finally, and they're going to start going to either their locals or playing the deck. You're going to see how broken it is, and it's going to be a bit complicated because Dark Magician is not how you were told or you were taught. Dark Magician is an extremely complicated deck, and you can maneuver the deck around anything. If they kaijo you, if they evenly, it doesn't matter what they do, you can maneuver the deck. You can go around Zeus, around anything. You can go around the Dragoon. This deck crushes like Bestial style, Labyrinth, all kinds of decks. Decks that Dark Magician players cannot beat, this deck crushes them. So hopefully you liked the video. God bless, take care, and Dark Magic Attack.